Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It is Kia Kelly, Vertical Video Strategist, where I teach you how to market your business on social media using vertical video. We are here live and we're talking about avoiding content creator burnout today. If you are watching this on the replay, you can just type hashtag replay in the comments. That's going to let me know you're watching this on the replay because we are streaming here live right now on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and on TikTok. So we are always doing all the things anytime we are live streaming, and today is no different. So if you guys are here, I want y'all to tell me, where are you watching me from? What city, state, or country are you watching me from? I am very curious about that. We're going to talk about content creation and avoiding burnout. So we do this live stream for every single day. And so you always can come in and join in. Like if you're on Instagram, you're going to always see on my page and in my stories where I schedule a live stream. Hey, from Jamaica, where I schedule a live stream. If you're watching this on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or YouTube, you're going to always see a notification for the live stream, and you can always hit remind me. That way you get notified when we're live. So I see Chicago, I see from Illinois, US, United States. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so let's start our conversation. So my first question to you guys is, how many of you all have ever experienced burnout as a business owner, content creator? And if you have experienced burnout, how did you know that you were experiencing burnout? Okay, so from Canada, welcome from Idaho. Okay, so we're talking about avoiding burnout, and I'm like just trying to poll the audience to see, have you ever experienced? Oh, sorry, we're live on TikTok too. What's up, TikTok? So I want you to tell me if you've ever experienced content creation burnout. If you have, how did you know? Okay. Now, one of the reasons why we are talking about this is because I am teaching more people how to use vertical video. So we used to just for 3 years teach just TikTok marketing. Now, granted, I've been a business coach forever, and then we went into TikTok marketing, and so now we are focusing on vertical video and not just TikTok. And so, like, I have watched my own self deal with burnout, and I have also watched a lot of content creators on social media deal with burnout. And then we're watching people in like record numbers, like just put down their businesses. And one of the reasons is because of, there's a lot that has happened over the last 3 years. And I don't think a lot of people really understand the magnitude of how much COVID 2020, 2021, and 2022, how much it really has affected people's mental health. I don't think people really, 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 really realize that. And so we're going to talk about it today. Okay. So if you're joining, I was asking, have you ever experienced content creator burnout? And then if you have, how did you know you were experiencing burnout? So Rebecca here says, no creativity while being exhausted. Okay. So Rebecca said, no creativity while being exhausted. Okay. Anybody else? I know me personally, the way that I knew that I was experiencing burnout was very similar to Rebecca, like no energy, no creativity, no excitement, watching myself create content because I have to, not because I'm enjoying it. And like on the week, like when I get home from work, like from my office, like just being exhausted, just ready to go to sleep, and wanting to stay in the bed longer, on the weekends, not wanting to go out and hang out with people. Also binge watching TV, like just eating and eating and eating and eating and just binge watching TV. Right. Let me see. We got, yes, no creativity or have ideas like me right now. I have some videos I need to do, but just can't find the energy to do the actual videos, even though I know what I want to do. Just feel exhausted. Okay. Good afternoon, Desbell. Let me see what is here on TikTok. I have a ridiculous amount of unedited videos. I get anxiety every time I look at it. Okay. All right. This is a real conversation. Okay. So everybody else, are we mass debating? Mass debating? What does that mean? So how did you know that you were experiencing content creator burnout? Or if you have somebody, hey, Arkansas, Kelly, if you know somebody who experienced or is experiencing content creator burnout, how did they know or what are they saying? Okay. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about ways to avoid, if possible, content creator burnout. Okay. So if you guys want to do me a favor, if you guys want to, share this live stream. So if you guys are watching on TikTok, you can share in all the ways. Also on TikTok, you can just tap your screen. And by you tapping your screen, you're telling the FYP, hey, this is a great live stream, invite more people in. And then it will push the video even the more on the For You page. Those of you guys that are on YouTube and on Facebook, you can hit share and you can invite your audience in. If you're on Instagram, you can hit the paper airplane and invite people in. Okay, so we're talking about burnout. Okay, so here are some things that I have watched people say online, right? So I have found, I won't even name names, but I found someone who was highly successful. This person was making about $500,000 a month in their business, and they said that they put down everything. Okay, they said that they refunded all these people all this money. They like gave recommendations to everybody for their business, just all this stuff. And they said they found themselves just not getting any joy out of their work anymore. Right? If you can relate to this person, just type I can relate in the chat. But this person said, I don't have any joy in what I do anymore. I'm just tired, exhausted, and I just don't have anything to give right now. Okay. Now, how did I know, again, that I was experiencing content creator burnout, which is what we're talking about today, is again, like when I would get up in the morning, I was just dreading working. Like I love creating videos. I love going live. I love, short form video. I love getting outside. I love exercising. I just love doing things. And I just did not want to do anything. Right now, I was not I don't want to say the S word. I was not thinking of hurting myself or anything like that. But I was just tired. I was just exhausted. I was negative and I just had nothing positive to say about anything. And I had to put the face on, right? And then when it was time to take the face off, the face would come all the way off. And so I watched a bunch of people just kind of put down their businesses. Now, here is one of the reasons why I think that people are dealing with burnout, right? And I want to give you any kind of advice that I have to offer. Okay, so a bunch of people said that they can relate. Okay, thank you for being honest. Thank you for being honest, Alex, and Sherry, and Big Impact. Okay, so here are some of the things that the truth, right? So, for example, a lot of us been building our businesses however long that we've been building them, right? And 2020 hit, right? So I want y'all to just kind of think about this, right? So you were doing X, Y, and Z, the way that you were doing it, how you've always done it or started doing, right? And then we got hit with here is this thing that is killing people, right? Now, when you think about it, we have heard about these things in movies, right? We've always heard about this virus or this monster or this disease or whatever is killing people, right? We've all seen it in the movies and we watch people in mass hysteria. If y'all know what I'm talking about, just say yes in the chat, okay? We watch people in mass hysteria in these movies, right? And we never think that that is ever going to happen to us. It did. Right? Just think about it. Just pause and think about it, right? I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, Fox News, CNN, everybody for a period of time in 2020 was like, wait, what is going on? We were watching people just die, right? Now, many of us know people or a lot of people that passed away, right? We had friends that were in the hospitals, like as in nurses and doctors. Some of them passed away. We had some of them that were I don't want to say the certain word because certain words get triggered on TikTok. These people were unaliving themselves. They were going to the grave earlier than they should have. Okay, that's the best way to put that. And people were doing that just like point after point after point, right? Then we're hearing the news say, don't go outside, don't touch your face, wash your hands, wear a mask, don't talk to people 6 feet away. Okay, now do this. It was just all this stuff that we had never ever experienced in real life. We've seen it all on television, but we had never experienced it in real life. And this didn't happen for a week. This happened for months, right? Now, how many of y'all, listen, and y'all just be honest. Some of y'all gonna be like, I got Jesus. I got Jesus too. How many of y'all, for whatever period of time, was afraid for your life in a way you have never been afraid for your life? How many of y'all can admit that in some part of 2020, you were afraid for your life and you were afraid to be around people, right? This is me raising my hand. I was afraid of my life. I was afraid to be around people. I was afraid to go outside. I was afraid to breathe. I was afraid to go to the grocery store. I was afraid to go for a walk. I had four young ladies that were living with me. I was afraid every time they went outside, right? Right? I was so afraid of all of those things, right? And, especially in the beginning, because it was like, who knew what in the world who knew what was going on? You know what I mean? And so when you think about that, you've got a mass, millions and millions and millions of people dealing with trauma, right? If you're not familiar with trauma, it is, let me see if I'll just Google the word real quick. Let's see. Just so y'all, I don't want to like, some of y'all gonna be like, that's not a medical term. Okay. Trauma is going through going through very stressful, frightening, or distressing events is sometimes called trauma. We can talk about emotional or psychological trauma. We might mean situations or events we find traumatic, how we're affected by our experiences. Okay. So, the thing to understand about COVID, whether you had it or not, or had someone pass away or not, is it was a collective trauma that the whole world dealt with at the same time. Not just the US, but all the countries dealt with at the exact same time in a way that we have never dealt with, right? Here we were living our lives, and then all of this starts to happen, right? And so obviously COVID has been going on for a long time, right? The mass amount of like people being like as scared about it isn't as heightened as it was in 2020, but that was a whole year, and it was still like then the Delta variant and then this and then that, all these things, right? Then you had the, what was that thing called? Not the West Nile virus, but what was those things called? um those things that are like flying things and like bugs. What were those bugs called that like showed up and was just like, what is going on? Like, what were those things called? Somebody tell me. And all of that happened, right? And as a result, hey Brandon, as a result, like, it dealt with people's mental state in a way that if they didn't have anybody that talked to them about that, then that is unresolved trauma, right? So here you are as a business owner, you're creating content, you're serving your clients, serving your audience, all the things, right? And then you have this trauma that is going on, and you're continuing to do what it is you do in the midst of that trauma, in the midst of whatever you were dealing with before COVID, right? Because the truth be told, if you ain't in therapy, you should be. Listen, this is the minister me talking, right? If you're cicadas, the cicadas, yeah. So if you're not in therapy, you should be. I just think that everybody needs to be seeing therapists. And if you're not, you're missing out. I love therapy, right? And so here's what you've dealt with your whole life. Then you've got your business and maybe your job too. And then you've got COVID, right? And so the number one thing that, and I have a lot of different tips or whatever, but the number one thing that I feel like that a lot of people are missing out on why they may be feeling burnout is because it's not just about monkeypox. That was one too. Good God. It's not just because of COVID. It's not just because of creating so much content, but it is because of all the things that you have been dealing with your whole life and then the last 3 years. It's a long time. 21, 22, wait, 20, 21, 22, and we're still in 23, right? And it's not as bad as it was then, but COVID is still around, right? So then you have that, right? And if you never deal with the trauma, then guess what? It's still there, right? And it's wreaking havoc on you in a way that you don't think about. So then we all learn about a vertical video, right? So then TikTok, it starts blowing up, and then Instagram comes out with reels, Facebook comes out with reels, YouTube Shorts comes out with shorts, Pinterest Ideas Pins comes out with that, right? And so then what you were doing, or the amount of competition that you had, increased because in 2020 and 21, so many people that had full-time jobs decided to go into entrepreneurship. They decided to become content creators and coaches and consultants, right? So the amount of competitors that you had before 2020 went up by like a hundred times. Not like 100 people, but 100 times, because more people said, I'm going to be a coach because I don't want to go back to work. So now you've got more competitors in the marketplace, right? Then you got the cost of ads going up and all of that. And so like now you're doing more to try to get in front of your audience more, right? To try to keep up with the trends and all that, me included, right? With the regular things you have to do for your business, with also the trauma that you dealt with in COVID. You have all those things happening all at one time. And listen, if you are a business owner, right? Let's just say you have a full-time job and a business, that's a lot of time. And if you just have a business, you're running the whole business. Like, listen, I am the owner of my company, right? And so, yes, I may have tech team, but I'm HR right now. I am sales. I am the content creator. I'm the one who manages the team. There's all these things that I do in my business. Okay. And so, like, there's so much that has to be done, right? And so, doing all that and then trying to still keep the and still trying to, hey Jamie, and then still trying to keep my positioning in the marketplace amongst all these people that decided, hey, I want to be business coaches. I want to be, I want to be doing all this stuff. Now, you're like, from a business and marketing standpoint, we had to market more or market more strategically. So then fast forward, you get past year 3, and now we're in 2023. And a lot of people who were like, okay, I'm going to go and become a coach or consultant, realize this is actually too hard. So I'm going to go back and get a job. Nothing wrong with getting a job whatsoever. Love jobs, hands down, all day, every day, right? So then you've got people who are now going, okay, this is not for me. I'm leaving that space and I'm going getting a full-time job. And so now the space is kind of leveling out with the amount of people that are coaches and consultants or what have you. But meanwhile, you still had to do all that stuff. You still had to go for the last 3 years. And then now that the wheels are not spinning as much, you're like, it's kind of like, the weebles wobbles, and then you're just like, because you've had to just go and go and go and go and go. If any of you guys can relate to that, just type the words I can relate, right? If you can relate to that, just type I can relate. Okay? Now, if someone is like a single parent or you are the only one responsible for your income, it's hard to take time off. I can't, okay, I don't mean this to sound mean, but it's true. I can't rely on my mama. I can't rely on my daddy. There is nobody. There's me and Jesus, and that Jesus is enough, right? But there's nobody else to fall back on. There's no husband who is producing income with me. It's me, right? Me and Jesus, right? So to the people that is just them, it's even harder for the ones that's just them, where there's nobody to rely on, right? So here is the deal. And if you got a full-time job, okay? Hey, Delmar, right? Okay, so here's the deal. We're talking about avoiding content creation burnout, right? Listen, I am telling you this as a person who has dealt with this and is navigating it, right? The number one thing you have got to do is you've got to go like, okay, what am I doing? Is all of what I'm doing actually giving me my desired result? Okay. Listen, what am I doing? And is what I'm doing actually giving me my desired result? Okay. For example, I love my podcast. I love my YouTube channel, right? I love all the things that I'm doing. But just recently I said, okay, wait a minute. I'm getting ready to have major surgery in August, right? And I'm like, okay, I want to be healing. I don't want to be thinking about creating content, right? While I'm healing. And so I'm like, right now in the month of May, let me look at what we're doing right now, right? Is what we're doing giving me the desired result, right? Or is this something I should pick back up after I've gone through surgery? Why would I do that? Because, like, okay, as I go through surgery in August, right? For the months of July, June, and May, I'll be batch recording, batch creating things, writing things. So that way, in the month of August, I'm not doing anything. I'm just healing, right? And I need to look in May and go, do I need to create all this stuff for those things? Or should I just stop doing them right now and pick them back up in September? Does that make sense? If that makes sense, you guys just say it makes sense, right? So I'm having this conversation with myself and I'm like, okay, yeah, we're going to stop doing this, and this, and we'll pick that back up in September. Okay. The second thing is I'm like, and is what I'm doing right now, am I actually making any money from it? Or do I just like what I'm doing? Or do I just like telling people that I have this or that I'm doing that? Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it. Right? You got to ask yourself those questions, right? So, for another example, I am honored that people ask me to come on their podcast or ask me to speak at their live event or to speak at their virtual event. Listen, we're talking about avoiding burnout. Have to go like, okay, if someone asks me, not everybody, if somebody asks me to be on their podcast, I have to go, is my audience on their podcast? I don't mind doing something to help my friend or this person that has reached out, but here's an hour of time or hour and whatever, right? If I do this, which will take me from doing something else, is this going to give me my desired result? Meaning, am I going to reach my target audience when this podcast comes out? Doesn't mean I'm going to make money immediately. It just means that, am I going to reach my audience? If the answer is no, I decline. Right? So I'll give you an example. Recently, somebody asked me to be a part of a virtual event to teach about TikTok. I was honored. And they told me the virtual event, who was going to be at their virtual event. That event is not my audience. It's not my audience. So as much as I would have loved to help that person, it was not going to help me. Listen, if you are my friend, I will help you with no return. You're my friend. You're my friend. You know what I mean? But we don't know each other, and you're just somebody, you saw me on the internet and you have asked me to do something to assist you. If it's going to hurt me to help you, I'm not doing it. Now that's a word. Y'all should write that down. If somebody's asking you to do something and it's going to hurt you to help them, you shouldn't do it. Whether that's in business, life, whatever. Right? So I have been doing that very intentionally. When someone asks me to speak at a live event, they have to pay me enough so that it makes sense. Listen, live event costs me more money than people think, because when you have a live event, you have to like pack up, you've got to shut down your business for the day, somebody's got to be managing things. I have cats, so I got to pay a cat sitter. I live like 45 minutes from the airport, and so it doesn't make sense to drive my car and drop it. It's going to cost more money, so I have to Uber down and then Uber back, which costs money and all that. Then you've got to pay for your breakfast, lunch, dinner for the day when you're traveling there and when you're traveling back. There's all those things. And I'm like, and if a person isn't paying me enough for a speaking fee in general, and I'm not saying it's got to be a lot of money, but in general, and to cover the additional expenses, then it don't make sense. It's costing me money to help them. Is this making sense to you guys? I know you're probably like, oh, yes, it has to make sense for the situation, right? So for me, in an effort to avoid burnout, I have been intentionally being like, no, I love you. I support you. I'm happy for you. But no, because it's going to hurt me to help you. Okay. And so I want y'all to be thinking about that. Okay. So another thing, if another way for you, and we're going to do some Q&A, another way for you to avoid burnout is you've got to go, okay, like here's all these things I have to do in my life and I have to do in my business. How can I batch this stuff? Right? For example, I sent an email out to our email list today, and I was talking to them about I think it was like ways to market their business when their kids are out from school from vacation or school, school break or what, summer break, and then when you're on vacation. And the way to do that is to batch, right? It's to know what are you talking about for the next 3 months because you're going to be on school break, and then coming up with your topics and then batch writing your emails, right? And then once you have those topics, then batch recording, whether it's for podcasts or for YouTube, or batch recording your short videos. Now, it is a lot up front, but here's what happens. Let's just say you take a day, and a day is when you are recording 40 videos, 50 videos, however many short videos, right? But you're recording them so that you can use them in June, July, and August, right? Then guess what? June, July, and August, you don't have to do nothing. Right? You don't have to do nothing because like you did all this back here in May. Does that make sense? So, like, again, I'm having surgery in August and I still want to serve my community even while I'm healing. Listen, I will have my emails written. They will be written and scheduled, right? Now, I will probably have my friend take a photo or two of me, like, in the hospital, like before I go, they like got you all plugged up to all the things for surgery or whatever. I may have her like shoot a photo, but we're not gonna post it, you know what I mean? Just to have it. As I'm on my healing journey, I may take a photo or video or whatever, but I'm not gonna share it until I want to share it. And that may be 2024. But like, because I'm a person who creates content, so it's like, listen, there's gonna be some days when I'm like bored, you know what I mean? It's just like pure deep bored, and I may shoot something or whatever, but there's not gonna be pressure to shoot because I have already done it in advance. So that's one way to avoid burnout, is by being intentional and thinking forward in advance, right? Also, another way to avoid burnout is don't do things when you don't feel like doing them, right? Like if you are burned out today and you have nothing to give, you do not want to force yourself into something. You're hurting. You should not force yourself into something, right? Now, there's these days when I'm like, I'm not having the greatest day, but I feel okay where I can talk, right? For example, last week I had something that knocked the wind out of me before I had a live stream, right? And my live stream was about consistency, right? And I was like, I contemplated not doing the live stream because I was just had something really big and not so fun that had happened that day. And I sat there asking myself, am I going to do this live stream or not? And I said, I'm okay. The situation is starting to resolve itself. It did not feel good. It knocked the wind out of me. Do I have it in me to still go live? And my answer was yes. But I made a decision that I was going to talk about what just happened to me. I didn't give everybody the specifics, but I said, listen, I wasn't going to show up here today because I had something happen to me at 9 o'clock. And at 12 o'clock, I was going to have to come here live and be with y'all. But I am showing you this is what it looks like to keep going, even in the mist, right? Now, if I was sick, if I was hurting or fresh out of surgery or whatever, right? Or something like when my grandma passed away, I did not force myself to create content when my grandma passed away. My grandma was like my mama. I was like, I posted in my Instagram stories, today is a really bad day. My grandma passed. Y'all pray for us. And I posted that on Facebook, right? And that was my content. That was just me connecting. I didn't like, it wasn't anything else or whatever. Does that make sense? I didn't make it have to be anything else. You know what I mean? But I did that, because that was just me saying, y'all pray for us. It's a bad day. You know what I mean? So again, if you're going to avoid burnout, then it's really, really, really important for you to not do things when you don't have anything to give. Right now, you guys all know that like one of the best ways to create great vertical short form video is with great energy. If your energy is zero, you have nothing to offer to your audience. Record tomorrow. Okay. Record tomorrow. Okay. All right. But also, you also got to replenish yourself. Okay. If you feel burned out, you also have to go and replenish yourself, right? For example, some days I am so busy and I didn't have a chance to go to the gym, right? Like this morning was a very busy morning. And I was like, okay, I don't have it today to go to the gym. However, when I finish my call at 4, I'm not going to wait till 5 to leave my office. I'm going to leave my office, get in my house, feed my cats, and I'm going to go downstairs to the gym, right? And that way I can go and handle that, right? But also, some days I don't even have it to be able to go to the gym fully to change clothes and all the type of stuff. So I will drop my bag, and then change my shoes, and I'll go and walk around my neighborhood. Right. And then what does that do? I get sunlight, I get fresh air, I get a walk in, all those things, and I get what I need. Right. But also, I take a slew of vitamins every single day. Let me show y'all. So I got this little like packet that reminds me to take my vitamins. Okay. All right. Let me show you. All right. So I have, okay. So we're like on Instagram and Facebook. Let me see if I can show y'all without them falling out of my hand. Let me see. All right. Hold up. Can y'all see those? Let's see. Let's bring it in view. Okay. So I take all of these vitamins every single day, like omegas, multivitamin, B vitamin, C vitamin, D vitamin, something else is in here. A bunch of stuff, calcium, omega, all this stuff is in here, right? And that is giving my body more of what it needs to. Does that make sense? So I'm not just like batch recording my content. I'm not just going to get some sunlight and exercising, but I am also giving myself good things, right? I'm also giving myself fresh water. Like every day, I fill this thing up with water, bring it to my office with the intention of this being gone by the end of the day, right? Now, again, listen, we're talking about avoiding content creator burnout, right? And you're like, there's a whole being, right? This is not just about the content that you create. This is the whole being, giving yourself what you need mentally and emotionally, right? Giving yourself good relational with people who will let you talk, right? So like in the mornings before I get when I'm getting dressed for work, I'm listening to something. I'm not always listening to things that are teaching me about marketing or business. I'm listening to things that are replenish me in general. Right? Because otherwise, life is going to keep lifing. You know what I mean? Like your clients want what they want. You're going to have to market your business, all these things that are always going to be happening. But you've got to go like, okay, how do I run my business without my business running me? Right? You've got to run your business in a way where it doesn't run you. And that is being honest with yourself about you, what you need, what is happening, and all the things, right? You have to do that for you. You just do. You know what I mean? Like I don't go and like so for example, like sometimes people will ask me for my phone number, right? And I'll meet them. And I know they want my phone number so they can talk business. And I'm like, no. I'll say, well, the way to connect with me about business is through my email. I check my email every day, but I don't do business through text message because I want to have a personal life. I don't want when you're thinking about marketing or you're thinking about TikTok, I don't want you texting me. Right? I just don't. I want to be. I want Kenya to be Kenya and Kenya Kelly to be Kenya Kelly. Does that make sense? Kenya Kelly is the brand, it's still me, and then Kenya is me. You know what I mean? I just don't want text messages at 8 o'clock at night asking me about TikTok. I find people that even like say they're my friends, and the only reason they reach out because they got TikTok questions. And I'm like, so I'll respond to them days after they send me a message. I love them, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to respond to you every single time you got a TikTok question because we were supposed to be friends, and now you're only reaching out for TikTok. You know what I mean? I had one of my neighbors who I met. We were connecting or trying to connect. And the only reason she texts is for TikTok advice. So I stopped responding to her texts. I just stopped responding. And one day I saw her in the hallway and she goes, yeah, I asked you about TikTok. I said, well, I told you that I don't do consulting through text message. You're welcome to book a one-on-one call with me, but you won't pay for a call. You just keep texting me because I'm your neighbor. And this is how I run my business. I don't ask you for advice on this and this for free. And she's like, so she stopped asking, because it's like, you know what I mean? But that's another way to avoid burnout is you've got to have boundaries, healthy boundaries in place, right? So you got to have boundaries for yourself, right? Listen, let me tell you something about boundaries. Boundaries are beautiful. Boundaries do not keep people out. Okay. Listen, boundaries do not keep people out. Boundaries teach people how to come in. right? Boundaries teach people how to come in, right? For example, you meet a brand new mom. She just had a baby and she says, "Hey, I would love to show you the baby. I want to see the baby, whatever, whatever." Right. And then, she may say to you, "I would love for you to come over and see the baby. Would you mind not kissing the baby?" You could get upset and offended or whatever, but she knows that we have so many germs on our mouths and inside of our mouths that could cause the baby to be sick. We've all heard those stories of babies like dying because the person had something they didn't know they had, kissed the baby, baby got it and died or whatever, right? You know what I mean? So boundaries teach people how to come in, right? And so if you want a book on boundaries, there's a book called Boundaries. Let me give you the author name. Let me see. So somebody had me read this book. Oh, Boundaries by Henry Cloud. Okay, Boundaries by Henry Cloud. Somebody told me about that book a couple years ago when I went through divorce, and it has been one of the greatest things that I have ever experienced. Boundaries do not keep people out, keep people in. Exactly. Yes, and somebody taught me that. I can't remember who it was, but boundaries are healthy. They're just healthy. They're just really healthy. You should even have boundaries when dating. You know what I mean? So like I have like I meet men that may not be interested in me like, like that or whatever. And if these men are texting me after like 9 o'clock, I don't respond. If these men are texting me early in the morning, I don't respond. I'll respond to them later on in the day and I'll say, "Hey, I saw that you text me around 10 o'clock p.m. or I saw you text me around 5 a.m. Would you mind texting me between like the hours of like 10 and 5? I just want to, make sure it's healthy of like us communicating." And some men will say, "Well, why is that?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm just setting healthy boundaries for when I am into a relationship because I don't want us to get used to texting it late at night or early in the morning. And then my husband or whatever see this and he's like, whatever." And healthy men are like, "Oh, that's actually healthy," because, I know what it is. It's like my ex cheated on me and he had no boundaries. And the people that knew that he was married had no boundaries either. And I have very healthy boundaries, right? So like one of my things is that if I meet a couple, like a husband and wife couple, I will immediately go talk to her first. Even if we barely know each other, I will always go to her first. I will always go and hug her first. Why? I want her to know I respect you and your marriage. And then now I'll talk to your husband. Women don't normally say anything, but usually time later on, they'll go, "You know what? I noticed that about you. I didn't say anything, but I noticed that. And I appreciate that." Boundaries. So I have the same type of boundaries in my business, right? And that really helps you from everybody pulling and doing all this stuff with you all the time, right? So it's like you're trying to get your own balance with your business and with yourself. And you've got to teach people how to have balance with you too. Like none of my clients have my phone number. I love my clients. I am there for my clients. If they message me, inside of our community, they send an email and we're on that type of like they can send emails. I'm quick on the draw. I'm quick to respond to them, right? So like I have a community where people are able to pay monthly to get to work with me with vertical video marketing. And the boundary is like here in this community, this is where you ask questions. You don't come send me a private email. You don't come send me a private DM. You don't start calling me on Instagram and you don't expect me to respond to you on Saturday and Sunday, right? It's like Monday through Friday, I am here. As soon as I get the notification, I will respond. I am there. I got you all day, every day, But on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, I'm gone, right? I am not available in DM, right? But I am 100% exactly what I told you I would do. I am there, hands down, all day, every day, right? And that just really, it's just healthy, right? And it will help you to avoid levels of burnout. Okay. All right. I want to answer some questions. Let me see. Boundaries are hard though, but I can practice. Yes, they are, and they're hard for people to receive when you give it to them, but they'll be okay. Let me see. I saw some stuff here. Good idea for not giving phone. Yeah, Nancy. Nobody has my phone number, girl. Nobody. And even like my best friend, like she didn't have a business for many years, and then she started a business, and then she would get excited at nighttime, and she would start texting me and asking me questions, and I just said, "Hey, can you can we not do that? And she goes, what? I was like, so we normally have like friend time. Like when you text me, it's normally like friend time. You're not normally asking me about Instagram or YouTube or TikTok. You're normally not doing that to me. And I'm like, and so now I don't really know what our relationship is, like when we're gonna have like friend time. Like, cause now I feel like when you text me, I have to be on. I can't like just be. And she said, oh, I hadn't thought about that. And I'm like, so I'm okay to answer your questions. And I was like, just preface it like during the daytime. You got questions, and when can you ask me? And then I will help you with that because you're my best friend. I was like, but I don't want to like be trying to be Kenya or sister girl, and now I'm having to be on with TikTok advice because like you got a TikTok question. And she appreciated that, and it's just made our relationship healthier. Does that make sense? Okay. What questions do you guys have about avoiding burnout as a content creator? We talked about a lot today, right? We talked about a lot today, but I want to know, what questions do you guys have? Okay. All right. Also, I want to tell you guys about something that we have a waiting list for. We haven't launched this yet, but I'm very, very, very excited about it. Okay. I'm put a link on screen. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. So for the longest time, let me see. Where is it? There we go. Let me type it out. I can't speak and do it at the same time. Okay. All right. I think that's the right link. I think it is. All right. I remember last week I was talking about something and I posted a link. It was the wrong link. I was like, what is happening? I was like, it's too long of a week so far. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Make sure it's the right link. It is maybe not. Oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. Okay. So, all right. One of the things that people have been, oh, sorry, Instagram. I forgot y'all don't have it. Let me see. Can I paste it here? There we go. All right. I'm gonna pin it here in the chat. So this is just a waiting list, FYI. Okay. All right. But one of the things that we have been getting questions about for like the last 3 years is teaching people how to grow and market their businesses, not just on TikTok, like using the TikTok content and growing on YouTube and growing on Instagram and growing on Facebook. Okay. And so we just recently, as a company, shifted to, we have a vertical video agency where we manage content. Uh, Hold on. Oh, sorry. It kind of went out and came back in. Are we still streaming for y'all? Can y'all still see me now? I know Instagram, y'all can see me, but it like blinked out. Okay. I think we're fine. Okay. So we have an agency where we manage some clients, but we have had people ask us over and over and over again, do I have a course teaching Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels and YouTube? And I kept saying no, 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 because we didn't have it and we had not even considered having it. And so just recently, I decided that I'm going to actually do a live 4-week class live, okay, where I'm going to be teaching you vertical video strategies on how to create one piece of content and grow your account on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook Reels, and YouTube Shorts, okay? And we have a waiting list for those people that are interested. And the waiting list is on the screen here on StreamYard. And if you're on Instagram, it is here. But also, okay, this is okay. This message I'm getting ready to say right now is for people that are on Facebook and Instagram only. Okay. Everybody else, I'll talk to you in a second. If you're on Facebook or you are on Instagram, you can join the waiting list by just typing the word vertical. Okay. Because we have a system called ManyChat, which will send you an automated message. Okay. So if you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram, you can type the word vertical and it'll send you a link. Okay. So what's going to happen is for 4 straight weeks, I'm going to teach this course live. You're going to get templates. You're going to get live trainings. You're going to get live Q&A. You're going to get access to 30 days of a Facebook group. Hey, Tiffany, to be able to ask questions and all the things for a very discounted rate because it's our very first time offering this course and it's called Vertical Video Mastery, teaching you how to master vertical video for your business. Okay. And again, if you're on Facebook or you're on Facebook or Instagram, you can just type the word vertical and we'll send you a link. and you can join the waiting list. On Thursday is this when we will open up registration for it. Now, because this is live and I have to be able to teach and serve and answer questions, we're only taking a limited amount of people. Okay. So once this is automated and it's a digital course, then it's unlimited the amount of people that can join. But for right now, because it's going to be live and I'm going to be there with people for a whole month, we have to keep the number down. Okay. Now, right now, it is free to get on the waiting list. Okay. You just want to, like, on Wednesday, we're going to email the waiting list and say, hey, it's open. You can enroll. Once we hit our max, we will stop promoting. Okay. So vertical video mastery is teaching you how to use vertical short form video like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and Facebook Reels to grow your accounts, but also ultimately to make money in your business. All right. So that is vertical video mastery. If you're on TikTok, you can either go to the link you see on the rest of you guys on LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter and TikTok. You can see the link on your screen, or there's also a link in my bio. Again, this is just the waiting list. This is not the paid product. Okay. So you're just getting on the waiting list. That way on Wednesday, you're the first person that knows. And then once we're sold out, you're good to go because you knew about it first on Wednesday. It will officially go out to everybody else on Thursday. Okay. So if you're even remotely curious about it and interested, you're going to want to join the waiting list. Okay. All right. Now let's do some Q&A. Okay. I want to, oh, dang. We're already at 12:47. That's a long time. We've been going for 45 minutes, but that's okay. Let's do about 10 minutes of Q&A. We've been talking about, hold on. What's happening down here? We've been talking about how to avoid content creator burnout. Okay. And if you have questions about that, feel free to ask. If you got regular marketing questions, feel free to ask. What's going to be the price? Good question. Okay. So the price of the course is going to be $497 beta. Okay. Because listen, because this is our first time offering this and it's going to be live, it's only going to be $497. Okay. However, when we automate this, when we record the entire course and all the things, it's going to be $997. Okay. Because now we've perfected it. There's going to be a whole lot more going into it. And it's going to be, it's like the digital course plus 4 weeks of live group coaching. Okay. So listen, right now it's going to be $497. Okay. When we automate this, it's going to be $997. So you're going to save $500 by being one of the first people to join this. Okay. So, but again, you just want to get on the waiting list. Okay. And if you're on Facebook or if you're on Instagram, you can just type the word vertical and we'll send you a link. Okay. All right. Any other questions? And good to see you, Tamara. Any other questions? I'm not seeing any. I'm sure my team is like, where is she? I think I have another call today. Any other questions, you guys? Let me see. What time is it? Today is May the 8th. No more calls today. Whew. Okay, good. All right. But I do have a lot of things to do. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I don't see other questions. Okay. Well, if that's it, you guys, then this is my teaching on how to avoid content creator burnout. I mean, obviously you guys can always catch the replays of this on my YouTube channel at Kia Kelly or on my Facebook page at Kia Kelly. Okay. So that we don't keep the replays up on Instagram or on TikTok, but you can always rewatch these on my Facebook page or YouTube or LinkedIn at Kia Kelly. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, thanks, Tamara. Well, I will see you guys very soon and chat with you guys tomorrow. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.